Boom, and we're live. All right, what's up, squad? So let's do a little crypto and stock review here. I'll go ahead and start sharing my screen here. Running a couple of these bad boys. So we're gonna go this one. We're gonna be nice, sweet, straight to the point here as well, because about to go hoop here soon. All right, let's start from the top. What is the market doing? All right, starting stocks. Looking at ES here. So I've marked these lines out a while ago. Just as you can see, kind of towards the end of the year, a couple things, in my opinion, typically happens. And this is just my own take of the market, not a financial advisor. So take this with the fattest grain of fucking salt that you ever seen in your life. So just kind of mark out towards the end of the year. Towards the end of the year, there are typically times where people either rebalance their portfolios, which means things that are doing really well, maybe before they're 5, 10, 15% of the portfolio. Now, just because they do well throughout the year, maybe they take up 30, 35% of the portfolio, certain stocks, certain industries that they're investing in. So they rebalance, sell some of those, take some gains, maybe realize some losses and reallocate to different areas. Or maybe they sit on cash, get ready for tax season. Could be a flurry of different things. But typically towards the end of the year, I feel like through what I've seen, things tend to sell off a little bit. People realizing gains. That's why I've marked out these blue lines. Are those areas towards the end of the year where things typically have sold off. This year, put it right around here. If you're in Discord Dimes, my Discord community, I call out a lot of these things. Okay, as you can see here. We'll get back to that. Link is in the bio once I post this. And lo and behold, call it luck, call it whatever, kind of to a T, damn near the top, about a week late. I'm in the weekly view of ES. So that's what I'm kind of looking at right here is we can see ES towards the end of the year starting to fall off a little bit here. So where am I looking to do business? More than likely, probably around the $6,000, $6,200 range. You got your 200-day EMA as well in the blue line that you can see. So we'll see how it reacts, but do I think we go straight up from here? No, personally, I don't. So we'll see. Nice little area right in here as well. So we still have roughly another 5 to 10% that I can see to the downside. Just an assumption here. I like to react more than predict when it comes to this. So that's ES. Let's jump to NQ as well. Same kind of idea. So I took some gains in quite a bit of my portfolio, which I'll go through next here. But NQ, ES, both looking a little toppy. So I'm just going to go 1 through 1 here. Looking at, this is more electric utilities, AEP, something I'm in right now. This is doing pretty well. Dividend paying, so I'd like to diversify a little bit when it comes to dividend paying stocks as well. AIT, not interested, looks toppy. And I'm looking at the 1 week in all these as well. So AMAT, love this down here when it broke out. Had a nice little gain on that. 150, 225, not bad. AMD, sold on some of that. Looks toppy, but you can also see that, okay, so I marked out some ranges here. Boom, sitting on top. So the question is, do we come down a little bit, get back above this, and then, maybe nice little breakout opportunity there. So what I'm going to do is let's go ahead and I'm going to add an alert here. I'll just keep that drawing on. If it does that, it'd be great. The other alternative that I can see, okay, now this is a range here from here to here, as you can see, top, bottom. Then I just mark out, shout out, Trader XO and SZ, teach me all their ways. So you got the mid-range, top of the range, bottom of the range, you got the mid-range and 50% between each one of those as well. So these things typically tend to move within those ranges. So I want to see what happens here. If it gets back inside this range, it can get above, maybe a little breakout. Or if it gets back in the range, then, you could do this whole thing, and then now it's breaking down. So just kind of go from there, react versus predict on that. All right, let's go to the next one here, ARCB. Here's your Bitcoin ETF. right here as well. I'm not, Bitcoin's funky right now. Since we're on ARCB, I'm not reading anything for ARCB alone. I'm just going straight off Bitcoin. So let's actually jump to Bitcoin here real quick. So where are we? We're currently at 92.9K. I'm going to jump into the Discord right now. You can probably see this was at 103. Got back inside this range. The other day I posted this. Love Bitcoin long term. Currently got me thinking we're going to lower levels. 88K, not off the table for me. Again, this is on the 11th when it's at 103. Just didn't like the way things are setting up. Would be very surprised if we don't hit 95K. More realistic, we see 85K. So fast forward to today, where are we at? Again, I was calling that shit out when, we were closer up here just because it's the way this was setting up. Next thing you know, here's that 93K. And let me go to this different view that I have a little bit simpler here. So here's your 93K, kind of what I was expecting. A little bit of a reaction off that, drop down below. Now, we did see 88K. We're at 89 right now. So I was kind of expecting this to come back into this area, maybe a little bit of a reaction, which we see. I personally, I don't think we're going to go like, this. I don't. With the end of the year here, government coming out of their shutdown, I don't know. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it right now. So we'll just kind of see how this reacts. I wouldn't be surprised if it kind of turns over a little bit more, honestly. Wouldn't mind maybe picking some more up. But when? When is the question, huh? That's a good question, isn't it? So we'll see. I don't think this goes up significantly from here. It's unfortunate because I hold, decent bag of Bitcoin here, but I'm thinking long term on this. So the lower it goes, quite honestly, fucking hell, I'd be happy. I'm good with that. If it jumps down to 60, fucking pack the bags and then we run up. That's a long way to go though, unless it takes the good old elevator down, which is possible. Okay, so that's Bitcoin for me. Holding off right now. I do think we see lower levels in that. I'd be extremely surprised if we don't actually kind of flush this out here, at least below 88K. Realistically, yeah, I would think it's probably a pretty realistic zone for it to, come in and then go back up. And then I start to feel a little bit more decent. Otherwise, I have no doubts that at some point it probably comes right back in here, 66 to 69, 70K area. Okay, next, ARC-K. Look at that, fucking hit, bang, bang. I was calling ARC-K out a minute ago. I ain't gonna lie, I was a little bit earlier to the ARKK trade on this. Let's see, 6.6, what was this at? It's at $61 back here, when I was calling this out. Really like this play. This was kind of the idea, a little breakout, breakdown. Now I took out my option as it was kind of breaking out here out of this little range right here, little breakout play, breakout, retest, up and out. Fucking hell. And then we see this happen. This was crazy. Bang. I actually pipped the, that was crazy. You talk about going down 90%, kind of just averaging down, which you don't love to average down, but damn, we went for an absolute runner here. That was literally all time. So a little bit earlier to play, damn near hit target 1 to a T. This is what I was looking at. A lot of supply up in here. So that was the zone I was looking at. Did pretty well on that play. All right, BE. This was just a long-term hold. I started selling a decent amount of this because, as a little bit more senior person, you start to see things go straight up. What goes straight up eventually comes down a little bit. BitO used to be good for me a while ago, but honestly, it's like these dividends is dope when it pays you monthly, but at the same time, it's just like, this is just a losing battle long term. So gotta weigh out the risk versus the reward on some of these like heavy dividend paying stocks, especially when it's monthly. If it's quarterly, they're paying out a very, very, very small percentage of earnings. Not bad, or a profit, not bad. But when it's every single month, it's just is that sustainable? Okay. Ken, this is one where just some of these crypto miner plays, it's like this thing is just so beat up. I don't think if you think crypto is going up at all anytime soon, it's not bad to take kind of a punt on this low risk, high reward for sure. I got a couple bucks in CMI. Now, if you look into this, so CMI, also got some Generac, also got some VRT as well. So these are more the AI play, but not like strict AI, more AI infrastructure. That's what I'm interested in. Booming AI. It's kind of like, good old gold mining days, where the people who got rich, always the gold miners, or the people who are selling picks and shovels. You need a lot of people to sell picks and shovels. That's what you're looking at when we talk about infrastructure for AI. So Generac, Cummins, VRT, these are just some of the ideas that I have. When I was looking at charts, kind of picking them up a little bit closer down here. I like that. Long term, still like it. Earnings look good. Dividend paying stock as well. So I'm good on that. Going down to a couple things. Coinbase, been a seller on that. Fortunately, picked that up many moons ago. But at the end of the day, I always thought it was going to come back to the IPO levels. As you can see over here, when it IPO'd back in 2021, lo and behold, what did it do? Damn near to a T. That was a pretty good call. I mean, looking back, hindsight 2020 classic, but would have picked a lot more up at $39, but still decent play. CRISPR. So talk to a mentor of mine, and he is a doctor, successful doctor, business guy. He likes this gene editing, long term. So this is more long term spot bag for me is going to be CRISPR and then edit as well. So this right here is pretty bottomed out, man. Earnings was decent. I didn't look too far into the earnings, but gene editing, dog, long term, not bad. I'll tell you what's going to happen here. One of a couple things. Just going to fucking sink, and I'm going to pick up big bags, or it's going to start to get going here, and then making big bags on that because I'm already bought into that. So a couple contracts out until next year, options wise, but really just focusing on long-term spot bags on that one. Google, that shit been ripping. It's good. Just have a couple long-term bags on that, not touching those. Sold off, tiny bit just because it is going straight up. Generac, already told y'all what's up with that. Hood, one that we played, as you can see, target 1, target 2. This was something that we were playing literally down here. Crazy. Let's look at Hood here. 725, 125. Look at this. Currently $27. That's crazy. Man. Not bad. Not bad. There it is. Man, how was that shit for a call right there? Give me some targets. Next thing you know, that shit moves. That was down here. That's nutty, huh? That's a good one. Bitcoin ETF, same kind of thing when you're talking about ARC-B as well as Bitcoin itself. Mara here. If you are interested in these Bitcoin miner plays, again, probably not a horrible idea. It's low risk at this point, It's like, shit, it could bottom out, but if you're thinking these miners long-term infrastructure, when you're talking about kind of energy, Mara, not a bad one. This one, been taking some punts on. This is top golf here. So this would have been ideal place. Now we're above this demand zone, supply demand zone. And this is where I got my target one. This is a long-term spot bag, not doing any options on top golf, just kind of holding it. We'll see. I like this consolidation above the moving average, breakout, retest. That's what I like to see. A little consolidation below zone. If it can break out, hold above, and then start to break out again, give me a little bit of a retest, sure. But typically on the way up. Otherwise, cut it. You have an easy place to cut the risk. Oof. Second, this got below 333, previous all-time highs, as you can see, all the way back over here. Yeah, once you start struggling over here, get the hell out of that, you know? Who knows where this goes down to right here? If I were to take a fucking swing at this right now, this is what I'd be thinking here. This is all pretty contingent on a couple things. So this is a couple different areas. I mean, I don't know if I were gonna take a swing at this right here. I like, damn, this. I mean, if this goes, yeah, I mean, this kind of makes sense right here. Watch this though. This goes right here, and this is where it's coming to, my opinion, right in there. I'm gonna put a alert right there. That's where I'd be interested in doing some business. Right in there, good friend. Boom. That's like pretty much where this thing all kicked off here. Here's a little gap too. Gaps get filled. That's what happens. Gaps get filled, mates. All right, NLR, Nutella, another one. This thing got beat down after these trials. Kind of, it's like one dude died. You know, it was gene therapy. I think it was for, was it liver? I think I'm trying to cure something with the liver via gene editing. It was supposed to be like a significant amount of the revenue, like future speaking wise, and someone died on it. But I mean, bro, that shit's down $29 to $8, damn near like 60 some odd percent right there. I'm just starting to accumulate a couple bags on that. These things, you know, whole gene editing shit takes off in the next couple of years, shit, next decade, bruh. Come on, man. Look at the market cap, 981. Talking billions, trillions, maybe not trillions, but tens, hundreds of billions of dollars. You know, you're talking about gene editing, revenue-wise. So yeah, give me against the long-term cheap bags on that. NVIDIA. Yeesh, Louish, right? Look at that. Has it ever come down? Looks like it wants to come down. It's just tough, man. Long-term, AI, these chips, man, it's kind of everything. They're in everything. I don't know. I haven't really sold a lot of NVIDIA, to be honest. I'm kind of holding that. This is one I don't know what to do on, you know? Because, I mean, look, shit's at 4.4 trillion. A lot of money. It can get bigger, though. It definitely can get bigger, you know? So, I don't know. I'm probably holder here. I don't think I'm a seller on this. This is just, you know, comes down a little bit as long as shit doesn't hit the fan from, this is like it, maybe it can turn over a little bit, come down, and then fucking on the way up. That's when I just kind of hold here and, you know, maybe buy a little bit more. If we get down to the 140, it's a nice 40, like 20%. I'll take it. Buy cheap. QQQ. Straight up. All this has been straight up. I'm telling you, if you're in crypto, been waiting for crypto to rip, deuces, as Chris Bound would say, you were left behind on that because it's been stocks that's been running. So Godspeed, though. DCA for me on QQQ and SPY. Riot. Oof. This one's been doing decent. It's fucking turning over. Just like everything, honestly, right now in the market. SoFi, long term. You heard it here first. I've been calling this shit out since down here. Look at this. This has been the play that has been printing. I'm telling you. Little downward trend. Little breakout of the trend. Retest. Fucking rip. I'm telling y'all, this is what's hitting right now. But with that said, we're also on top of this range here. So let's see how it reacts here. A couple things could happen. Gets back in, and then next thing you know, who knows? Not good. Otherwise, give me down, up, maybe like some kind of this. Run it back, same playbook. So just kind of waiting to see what's going on here. I'm holding these bags though, because long term, I do like SoFi. Snow. Look at this. Look at this. Again, breakout, retest, up and at them. Holding on to Snow. I like Snow long term. Count me in. Bag holder. Tesla. bag holder, even though this is starting. Okay, so I wasn't paying attention to this today. This is starting to get a little bit interesting. Little deviation, operation deviation here. I don't know, man. This is, if it start hanging out in here a little bit, let's see, lower. Same kind of thing with NVIDIA. Long term, you know Tesla's going up. So if you're looking to trade it, I can see downside. If you're looking to long term hold, and shit guaranteed in life. If there's one thing I've learned through my 34 years of it, ain't shit guaranteed but death and taxes, my friends. And Tesla maybe probably going up long term with Bitcoin as well. Those are the other things. Service Titan, can't speak on that. So let's jump to the next one. Vertiv. This is another one I'm telling you about. AI infrastructure. I'm bullish AI long term, even more bullish the AI infrastructure. Picks and shovels. Wayfair. Oh man, did I fuck this one up? This is one I literally called out. This is when it's like options fucking piss me off sometimes. I'm telling you this because you make the right call, and then let me see if I can find this. Wayfair. Look at this fucking thing. So here's your Wayfair call out. Look at this shit. This was $63. Look at this. $63. Fucking brilliant call. Honestly, not to toot my own horn. $63 right here. And you know what fucking happens with some of these options? If you're not picking the right option, it's like this move right here, go up and then drop down, and it just sits there for like 3 weeks. Fucking cooks the contracts. The theta is just ridiculous. So it's like, brutal. Otherwise, pick up the right contract. That's a nice little 3x, 4x, maybe a 5x on that. Long story short, sold too quick on that. Very unfortunate. Didn't stick with the game plan. You live and you learn. This one, Zim. If you want something to kind of fuck your wallet up, whatever you buy or sell in here does the opposite. Wouldn't recommend playing this game here. But if you like big dividends, you can dabble. 6, nothing. Back here, it was paying out, $5. I think there was like an $18 dividend in here. That was a one-time, $17, but still. This one, who knows? Gets a little interesting. I've learned my lesson here, though. Been burned by Zim too many times, not touching it. ZS, been a buyer. You can see target one. Here we go. Been a buyer of Zscaler. This is one I like long-term as well. So I'm chilling on this one. Good earnings. I like Zscaler long-term. I did sell off some of the bags up pretty solid on that. So I'm just gonna let this come down a little bit. Realistically, I don't see this one going up for forever here. So start to be a buyer probably more in this area here. I wouldn't be surprised if we see kind of something down here next to the $217 range. May take a little bit of time, but quite frankly, I personally think market got another 10% downside at least over the course of the next like 30 days, So just setting an alert right there. All right, let's talk crypto. I'm telling you guys, this shit is nasty. I've been selling out of my altcoins, like been out of it for like at least a couple quarters now at this point for the majority of them. Abe, what's going on here? It looks ugly, dude. Looks ugly. There's nothing here for us. BNB, long term, who knows? Pretty decent here. So what you can see, low to high. This is on top of each other, stacked on top of each other. There we go, midpoint. So this does a couple things. What does it do? Right here, in my opinion, maybe if this gets below this range right here, 891, bad news bears, that's down. Now, let's say we can go down here, little crossover, and then we settle back up here. Who knows? We can reverse that trend. First target, second target. But I would watch this. I'm not a buyer of this yet. This, I want to see how this is reacting here. If we start to break down, bad news bears. If we hold, get back above, I think, maybe a decent position on that, at least a starter, but not a buyer. Bitcoin, I'm big chilling right now. If it starts to run, great. I don't see it happening. Not right now. Not yet. Pro, sold that shit up here. No bullshit. I'm good on this right here. It's not the end of the world here. If, you know, we wanted to start to get some kind of starter positions, but you're going to be holding this for a long time. Seriously. I just don't see any of these things fucking ripping right now, which is unfortunate, but I just don't. I don't see it. Ethereum, these are all just in such funky spots. They all just look so heavy. It all just looks so heavy. You know, this is what happens. They'll drop down. You'll get a little 3 to 5% rip. People start longing. And then they just move. They just move. Stairs up. Escalator down. Oof. This is nasty. Until you start getting things like this, like give me a pump, give me some consolidation, give me a start to a move, then I'm good with that. But like this is just like nasty slow bleed until you get the fast bleed and then just keeps bleeding. I ain't catching that knife. No, sir. This is next, man. This is next here. Hype has been holding up pretty impressively, but this is looking to die. If you're looking to short, there you go. It's a decent play right there. HNT, helium. Oh man, this one broke my heart many a times, but this one I'm going to be a buyer. I like helium long term, but I'm not really looking to start buying until we probably consolidate, round out a little bit more. We start to get a little bit higher up into this zone. I'm willing to start doing some business in that, but this isn't going anywhere fast. That's for sure. Ugly. Link. Oof, man. Yeah, I've been selling since up here. I'm not holding on to this one anymore. This one, we need some more of this too. Yeah. There's nothing here. There's not a whole lot on these ones, guys. Pengu, nasty, Solana. Yeah. This, I don't always nail everything, but yep, we're buying here. Held that. Sold a lot of Solana up here, 260. No bullshit. No bullshit. Look at this. Look at this. Here we go. Solana, 260. I'm starting to, oh, there we go. There it is. I think it goes way higher. Still, it didn't, but I'm starting to take some trims there just because I've seen this game before. So there it is. And it did go higher. It did go higher. So there you go. It was right on both accounts, but ended up taking some trims. Never really got back into that. So not until that gets lower. There. And here's the thing. There will be a time where it starts to go down and then run it back up turbo, you know. So that's more what I'm waiting for. There's plenty of plays to jump in. You don't need to force it on one. TRX, this one, I've been holding this shit for a minute. It was actually just about a week or two ago. I pretty much sold the whole bag on this. This is just starting to look a little bit nastier to me. This is starting to look yeah, ugly. I don't like the look of that. There's no reason to keep that risk on there. Altcoins dead. You know, this is interesting here. Previous all time. Dip, rip, retest. Better hold and get running on this because the more time this starts to hang out here, starts to dribble down a little bit. Bye-bye. Night-night. Hasta luego, parcero. Same thing. Either get fucking going or you get gone. Ciao. And that's it, y'all. Hopefully you found it helpful. Appreciate y'all. Hope you learned a little something. Hasta luego.